the big picture. Don't miss the big picture in this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. In 2013, an artist took over a year to create the largest land art portrait in the United Kingdom. He created it for the Belfast Festival, a portrait of a 6-year-old girl's face that covered 11 acres and took over 4,000 pounds of dirt and sand. But don't expect to walk by and see much. That's because it's only viewable from a helicopter or a plane. Otherwise, it just looks like a field of dirt. Some things are only revealed when you see the big picture. Jesus was a big picture kind of guy. That's illustrated clearly in the extraordinary miracle that takes place in Bethany, described in John chapter 11. We'll pick it up at verse 4. But when Jesus heard it, he said, "This illness does not lead to death. It is for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it." You know the story of this chapter, the account of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead. At this point in the story, in verse 4, Lazarus' family and disciples don't know what's about to happen. The disciples were concerned because going to Bethany, where Lazarus lived, would bring them dangerously close to Jerusalem, the epicenter for Jesus' enemies. Lazarus' family was concerned for the health of their loved one. Jesus understood all these concerns and would comfort them in some amazing ways. But more importantly, he understood something significant. His followers and we need to see the big picture. Jesus understood the serious nature of the situation. He knew that his disciples had legitimate concerns. Going to Bethany could be dangerous. Jesus also knew that Lazarus, his very good friend, was critically ill. In fact, Jesus knew that Lazarus was going to die. But Jesus does the unthinkable. He delays going to be with Lazarus for 2 days. Why would he do that? Well, that's what Jesus was explaining in verse 4. But when Jesus heard it, he said, "This illness does not lead to death. It's for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it." In his statement, Jesus explains not only the outcome of Lazarus' illness, but also the reason for all of his miracles. Jesus did not do miracles indiscriminately. His miracles had specific purpose, to reveal him as the Messiah. The miracle that was about to come was no different. In fact, many would come to believe in Jesus as they saw him bringing Lazarus out of the grave. Jesus' delay also was not to cause Lazarus' death. In fact, most scholars believe that Lazarus had probably already died by the time that Jesus made this statement, and Jesus knew that. He wasn't mistaken, though, when he says that the illness would not result in death. He, as Paul Harvey used to say, knew the rest of the story. This is the last miracle performed before what we often call the Passion Week, that week leading up to the cross and the resurrection. This final sign of Jesus' power before he begins his journey to the cross would teach a crucial lesson. The Messiah has power even over death. Jesus saw the big picture. Lazarus' illness was not a defeat. It was an opportunity to see the power of God. I heard a story at a funeral that I've never forgotten. The pastor was visiting with a critically ill patient who asked the pastor to pray for his healing. The pastor readily agreed to do so, but told the man, "You know Christ as your Savior, so I know you're going to be healed. I just don't know whether God will choose to heal you physically now or heal you eternally when he takes you home to heaven." That's the great victory we know as believers. There's nothing that can defeat us, not even death itself. Jesus later said it this way to his disciples in John chapter 16, verse 33. I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart. I have overcome the world. We have a victory that goes even beyond death itself. That's our great hope. Knowing the big picture, now you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.